Testing 1, 2. We're getting ready to rock and roll, everybody. Please let me know how the sound is. We got good sound. Morning, Monica. Big Dave is watching from Central Florida.
This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Live from Peach Time Out in the heart of Times Square. You're listening to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to Beach Talk Radio, episode number 213. Coming to you live from Peach Time Out, our base for nearly 4 years now, home base that is. And before we get the show rolling with two of my favorite people in all of the world and all of the universe, we always want to thank our sponsors that makes this empire that we've created here available to all of you, wherever you're watching, whether it's here on Fort Myers Beach or in Detroit, Michigan, or Ohio or Buffalo or the UK or the Ukraine. You know, you could be watching in the Ukraine in a bunker, and we wish you all the best of luck in the Ukraine. But we do have to thank our sponsors, including Sun Palace Vacations, Fort Myers Beach Realty, Fort Myers Tiki Tours, Nervous Nellies, Margaritas, State Insurance USA. You take a breath between the sponsors there. There's so many.
Wow.
There's so many that love you.
Out more so you
can build La Ola Restaurant, Coastal Vacation Properties, Tuckaway Cafe, Beach Pottery, Shuckers, the Farmers Market at the Beach Baptist, Island Carts FMB, JPS Vacation Rentals, and of course, our home base for oh so many years, Peach Time Out. What a week it's been. It's been a whirlwind of activity here on Fort Myers Beach. What are you doing on the phone? Well, we've got dog issues that almost caused the wife to miss the beginning or miss the whole show, where I think we have one of our dogs getting dangerously close to death.
No. Oh, my God. You're so dramatic. No, I just think she's got a stomach thing or maybe she has a bad tooth. So after the show.
A bad tooth?
Yeah.
How did you come up with that diagnosis out of the blue?
No, because I know. But I'm just going to take her in to the, walk-in place.
I think that what you need to realize
she's at her babysitter's house, Sue. Thanks, Sue.
You might realize that your trip might be the last trip. Just keep that in mind.
Be the last
I
trip.
remember taking Chloe to the vet.
Well, that was an obvious last trip.
And then it was the last trip to the vet, and that's devastating. So you have to go on that journey to the veterinarian. With that in mind, it could be your final trip.
It's not going to be our final trip.
Things happen, dear. So we have
Way
a lot
to bring a little levity to the show.
Well, listen, we're all going to die sooner or later, and nobody will give a shit that we were alive to begin with. So what's the big deal?
Our family will.
Yeah, they'll get over it, though. I think, that's just the way it goes. So we have so
many zingers there, but I'm going to refrain.
Yeah, we have so much to talk about because there's so much going on in this beach now. It's been crazy. The ribbon cutting ceremony for Estero Boulevard was on, I think it was on Wednesday. We saw so much power, all the power players.
You did.
Yes.
Don't say we. I was not there.
All the power players in Lee County and Fort Myers were there. Almost the entire council was there. Almost the full county board was there for the ribbon cutting for this fabulous new road that they have here. And it was so nice to see everybody. We got to broadcast that live. And a lot of praise for Larry Kiker, the late Larry Kiker, for putting that project on the drawing board back in the day. And Paula was there, Paula Kiker, and she was nice enough to come on the broadcast. at the end of the ceremony. So if you haven't had a chance to watch, we broadcast the entire ceremony from Wednesday. Are you watching the comments? Pay attention to the show, dear.
You.
It's the content.
Thank
you have
you,
to pay
John.
attention. Watching you from the beach. Glad to see you there this morning. We can say a prayer for your puppy. Oh,
and then what else did he say?
He said, "Don't be so nasty, Kim."
He said, "No, don't be nasty."
You
too,
got. I
Kim.
almost got that one by you. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the ribbon cutting. And so at the end of the broadcast, we had interviews with Paula Kiker, Ray Sandelli, and Ray Murphy, the mayor. And it was just a joyous occasion. It was a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and we were at Charlie's Boathouse, and the road is fabulous. I mean, the bike lanes, and anyway, we've talked about that till we're blue in the face. By the way, Friday night, we have a special show from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Now, here's the scoop on this special show. It's going to be.
I thought you said 5.
No, it's 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock because we don't want to get in the way of their dinner crowd. So it's going to be a happy hour. I mean, every hour is happy hour on Fort Myers Beach, right? So 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock from the second story of the Whale. We're going to have Tom Torgerson and John Dammerman, and I don't know if they're bringing other members of TPI. Obviously, the developer for Margaritaville will be broadcasting from the Whale to talk about the project, the update of the project. You're very distracting me with the phone about the dog. I'm trying to do a show here.
Sorry,
if you needed to call in sick, you should have just stayed home and called in sick. I could have got Steve to fill in.
You ramble on like I'm not even here for the first 5 or 10 minutes. So.
Anyway, the show is Friday from 4 to 5. We are having a live studio audience. So if you want a seat to be reserved for you, I'm going to put your name on the guest list, the VIP list. There's no charge for the VIP list. And so what you need to do is text me your name to 239-247-3833. Text me your name. We'll save you a seat. That doesn't mean you don't buy a drink or we're not giving you hors d'oeuvres. There's nothing for free here. You're going to get to hear information, but you're going to have to buy something because, that's part of the deal. I mean, don't be cheap.
You got to patronize.
If you're going to be cheap, then, you can listen at home. We also have created an event on the Facebook where you can, people are reserved like I think they're clicking on the Facebook because they're going to watch, not really because they're going to come. But I don't know. We might have a huge audience there because it's the number one topic on the beach. Everyone wants to. You're really not participating in the show at all today. You're either watching your phone or you're reading the comments. So take it away. Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest of the morning is the great Karen Woodson from Fort Myers Beach, Florida. Here she comes down the aisle, and she is going to give us a recap of the Lovers Key Gala, which we were so graciously invited to by Christy Hennessy
and John,
her husband, who I finally got to have a conversation with. He's very smart, that guy.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Christy and John were our biggest supporters. They were our biggest donors for this event.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I was sitting next to John and we were talking business. Actually, I was just listening to how business is done. And he said, I just write the checks. She just tells me what to do and I write the checks. Is that true?
I think there is some truth to that, actually.
So, Karen.
Well, it was a beautiful event.
Yeah, we were so excited about it. Really were.
Yep. I loved the Tiffany. I really loved the Tiffany blue napkins.
The Tiffany blue. When I sat down, Karen,
did you notice that?
The first thing I thought was, wow, Tiffany blue, not just regular blue.
Well, and he wasn't sure
Tiffany
what it
blue.
was. I remember he was looking around for the napkin. I'm like,
it's right there under the clear plate, so you can see it.
The first thing that you had on the table was a little cup of something. It was a bucket of
gazpacho.
What is that?
Gazpacho is a chilled soup. Tomato cucumber soup.
I see. I didn't have it because I was working the room earlier
Imagine
on.
that, you working the room.
Know, right?
I don't know.
And I came back to my seat and it was gone. So
they were pretty quick. You had to eat up or let it put it to the side. And
so
I think I ate yours anyways.
Food, was that food not spectacular?
Oh, wait a second.
My
You're
gosh.
jumping ahead now. We have to take this segment at a time.
Okay.
Now, I sat down and the salad came out, which was delicious. I wasn't really sure which fork to use. I mean, that's how long it's been.
You always start on the outside.
Start on the outside and go in.
Right.
Have you ever watched Pretty Woman?
Fork is at the top.
Is that a movie or is that on a Netflix?
Oh my gosh.
Pretty Woman. The
What
movie?
is there
That's
nudity in that?
classic. No.
No
well,
nudity?
actually, she does play a hooker.
She
Nice.
does.
I might have to look that one up. So
Richard Gere.
there were so many.
and, oh my gosh.
Roberts. Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
So
Julia
there was-
Roberts.
Can we stick to the script
Well,
here?
you-
Well,
please?
you said you
Oh.
didn't know. We're just trying to
Wait a
educate
minute.
you.
This is Rich. Can you stick to the script?
Please.
Every week he
Back-
goes off
Please
on a
back the
tangent.
truck up here. So there were so many forks and there's so many spoons. It was like being at a fancy restaurant.
Well,
Uh-huh.
it was.
And-
It was a fancy restaurant.
For those of you that don't know, I want to show everybody
It wasn't
what
like a picnic.
what the what it looked like. That's the
There's the
there's
Tiffany blue
yeah.
napkins.
Look at that.
Yeah,
and
there's
the
the-
silver. Didn't you love the silver chairs
Oh, yes.
and
Yeah.
all the
Chairs were very lovely.
flowers and
Mhm.
driftwood? I mean,
What
it
I
was very
really-
beachy. Very
what
beachy.
I liked was the clear
Yeah,
tent.
that was cool.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
that
cool.
clear tent was amazing. Too bad we didn't have a ton of stars because the whole thing
know.
was starry night kind
Yeah.
of thing. But
So
It was great.
for those of you that are cheapskates and didn't pay for a ticket, now you know what you're in for next year.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to jump ahead either, but that was worth the price of admission, certainly for us because Christy paid for it. But I'm sure it was for everybody. Now, if you
so
got
no, that was the first.
well, if
That
you
was
got
the inaugural.
that was the inaugural of this kind of event. So the
Okay.
first one we ever did was still during COVID. We had maybe 100 people because that was our restriction. It was more casual. It was a thank you, really, to all of our
Mhm.
donors who had gotten us this far.
Right.
But this is the big transition
Okay.
of moving into now really
it's gonna
all of
be.
our environmental education, a player in the environmental world, not just building a building, but really supporting the park. Because here's really interesting. Everybody thinks, well, it's a state park, so
Right.
it's funded. No, the state park gets less than half of their operating expenses covered by the state budget.
Mm.
The rest of it comes through volunteers, memberships, donations, people like Friends of Lovers Key who put on these events. And so we were so happy that our actual expenses were covered by our ticket sales. And then everything from the auction forward goes straight to the park.
now, Karen, for those that don't know, explain to people what your position is at the Friends of Lovers Key.
So I'm the VP of operations for Friends of Lovers Key. And I was also the chair of this gala.
Okay.
So anybody who wants to join me next year
Yeah.
is wide open to help me.
You can see when we first got there, it was almost like you were letting the stress out because finally the date it arrived and you had a little you might have had a glass of wine. I don't remember
or two
if you did.
or three.
But
Actually, champagne. I was toasting.
yeah. Speaking of that, let's go back to the pictures real
Okay.
quick.
Well, and I just want to say while
Go
you're
ahead.
getting the pictures up, they had that cool thing there where it was like a robot that was standing there that could take your picture.
Oh yeah.
Well, can you talk? Do you remember?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So the name of the company was Jade Strings, and it was all electronic.
Yep.
If you took pictures and you haven't received them yet, they were having internet issues. So
Yep.
anybody can email me if they want, and we can get that link out to people. But yeah, we had the backdrop and everything of all the palm fronds, and people were, and
the
as
good
the night went on, people got
Oh,
really crazy in front of
yeah.
the camera
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So it was very fun.
yeah, I got some videos that I deleted. I'm not going to share some of those videos with some things are left.
Yeah,
Better
better
unsaid.
left unsaid
And
and
unseen.
unlooked, unseen.
Unseen.
Yeah.
So here we
Unlooked,
are.
not unlooked.
Here we are upstairs before the event. It's the VIP.
Yep, this is the
area.
VIP cocktail hour upstairs at the Discovery Center.
You had these hors d'oeuvres that were
Oh.
beef kind of thing.
Oh, well, I had
that
the artichoke and
I
cheese
think
The
dog.
artichoke
Oh.
brie cheese puffs
Oh.
Yeah.
and the sushi with that
Mhm.
little squirter
Yeah,
of the
little
soy
squirter
sauce.
Mhm.
That was
Yeah.
I
amazing.
didn't
That was
have
my
any of that.
favorite
I
part. You
just
didn't have that? Oh my God, that
I
was
just
great.
asked the guy for something with meat in it, like meat or chicken or beef or something like. He found the beef thing.
Well, we
thing
had
or
we had
Bob.
everything. We
Yeah.
had like 6 or 7 different hors d'oeuvres, I think, that were
Mhm.
passed.
So here's what the
That was the lighting.
Yeah, very nice. You got Beauty
That
and
was
the beach on
that
the
was
on
a
the building
surprise
there.
to me when they did that.
Ah.
When they scanned, I didn't know that was
Yeah,
coming, so
very
that
cool.
was a surprise.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was fun.
Some more folks now
There's the dinner.
sitting at the table enjoying dinner,
Yeah.
and of course you got to go with the
Ron
outfit
Fleming.
the outfit of the night. The winner of the outfit of the night goes to Ron
Best
Fleming.
dressed.
And who's he there with?
So he is there with Frank and Janet Cassis. Frank is on our board, and he and Janet both have been volunteers extraordinaires for the park for years and years.
They
They're
sat at our
just
table.
great
I had
people.
a nice conversation with them.
Great people.
Now we have just another shot of the nighttime.
How did Peter Albert get in all the photos?
Yeah.
He's in every
I don't
dinner
know.
photo, I think.
Did he actually, like, he was bidding on things? I don't think he actually won anything. He was
I
just
don't-
driving the prices up.
Well, you gotta have him in every audience, right?
Yeah.
Gotta
And
love
then
that.
you had killer bands.
Oh, that
Yeah.
band. Oh my gosh. That is a big swing band, 16-piece orchestra.
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh. It was
Yeah,
just
it was
I
great.
wish
Yeah.
I wish it would have went longer so that we could have
People could have
actually
danced.
danced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have time restrictions
You
and
live
all
and
that
learn,
kind of
right?
stuff. So,
So-
maybe next year we start earlier. Who
So
knows?
did you do you have a approximate total you want to share that was raised, or you holding?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we are, from everything it looks like, we're close to 70,000 that was
Sweet.
raised for the park. Our goal was 50. Of course, my stretch goal was 100, but I'll take 70 the first
Nice.
year.
Right.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Katie Moses was there, who is
Mhm.
the
She's the park ranger. Well, she's more than that. She's actually the whole park lead
right.
for the state park. And then
And her parents were there too, right?
Her mom,
Her
mom was there.
PJ.
Yeah.
PJ Moses. She's
Yeah.
a hoot.
She is a
Real hoot.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
she's fantastic.
Now,
So let me just ask the 70,000. Then I know we were talking about that. The
speaking of
state
Peter
parks are
Albert, he
not-
just walked in the door.
There he is.
they get a certain amount of funding. So then what does this go to does it go for specific, like some of the programs that they have
Mhm.
for the kids? Because that is an amazing program that they have there
Right.
in the summer.
So some of it, so we do get grants for the education programs.
Okay.
So Louise Kowich is our
Mhm.
education
We love her.
manager. She's great. And she is very, very much the educator and has all the relationships with FGCU and all the different artists in resident, that type of thing. So she goes out and gets grants and sponsors, but then what we're short, we will cover for that. We also want to give as many, probably about 5 scholarships
Right.
this summer for
Mhm.
underprivileged children that can't come to the summer camps. So we want to do that. We're doing a ton of things on speaker series, on, kind of topics of the moment with our water and environment and that kind of thing. So that'll help cover that. And then helping the actual park with what they don't get funded with, equipment and a copier, for heaven's sake. We're looking at copiers for them right now because their copier is dying after
Mhm.
20 years. So yeah,
Right.
it's just all those different things. But the building right now is not the focus anymore like it was for the last 2 or 3 years, 5 years, I should say. But now it's more about the park operations and the educational opportunities.
And the
Cool.
programs. Okay.
So, Mitch, just to answer your question, that was the first thing I asked Ron too, was how do I get one of those suits? And he said, I think he said it cost him $100, and it's been sitting in his closet for how many years, waiting for the right occasion to pull it out. He found the right occasion to pull it out. It was
Well,
some
actually,
website that I'm sure
Christy
somebody will.
Hennessy has a link to a website.
Oh, yeah.
Of course she does.
Yeah.
She was passing it all out. She's got a link for it. So it's
Now,
great.
a couple of things
What-
that I
now,
want.
would you wear that?
I would have worn that for sure. I mean, I'd wear
Ah.
something
They
like
come
that.
in, it comes in flamingos and
Oh, yeah,
parrots
yeah.
and
Oh, for
dolphins.
sure.
You got to get
Yeah.
a parrot one then.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, I know you guys are going to go back and discuss how it went and come up with some different ideas. Now, of course, I have a few ideas. Now, I just want to say,
I can only imagine what one of these ideas might be.
I just want to say I have no complaints. We had a great time. It was fabulous. I think everything was perfect. Peter Bush from NBC was the host. He did a great job.
Mhm.
Your auctioneer was great. He was very personable with the crowd, and I think he drove the money up by the way
Yep.
he was doing it.
Jay.
So I'm not criticizing, but just ideas to throw into the hopper. You guys had like valet parking, which I thought was fabulous.
And that was sponsored by Marty Harity at Doc Ford's.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's nice.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Marty. Marty also owns the Whale
right?
for those that
Right.
are coming on Friday. So my thought was red carpet. We have to have a red carpet next year, and the red
Oh.
carpet should be hosted by myself and Alyssa LeMay.
Oh, there you go.
Can you imagine the viewership for
Can
a
you
red
imagine?
carpet between me and my good friend Alyssa LeMay.
I love Alyssa.
Just
I do love Alyssa.
Just throwing that out there for
That's a good one.
fodder,
Yeah,
and we
I'm
could get
actually that's kind of fun.
we could get that sponsored.
Yeah.
No, we will talk about, and maybe we bring Anita in to talk about the clothing that the people have.
As everybody enters,
Yes.
you can
You interview them.
It
You
could-
have a
yeah.
sponsorship banner behind them,
It
so
could be
people can
our
go.
own Emmy Awards,
Yes,
our own
that's right.
Oscar,
That's right.
You know
our
what?
People
Oscar
on the
red
beach
carpet.
And you
love
can
to have
have
fun.
the photography thing set
Oh,
up
yeah,
there.
perfect.
That would be great.
That would
Okay.
be really fun.
Yeah.
I think Eddie
Yeah.
gets a dingy for that.
Well, I think
So
I
the
do, too.
second idea is, again, I like the way you guys did it, but I think hosting, these are your hosts right here. I mean,
get out of here.
come on.
Here's
I've
the
heard,
thing, though.
a lot of
Because-
people have brought that up. What
because-
about
Here's the
Ed
thing,
and
though.
Kim?
Because we
What
know
about 'em?
everybody's
I
name.
know, but then we can't sit and enjoy ourselves. I
That-
had a great time.
I think that
You can still enjoy
I-
yourself on the side.
I have to be more reserved.
I can be
No,
professional.
No, you don't.
I can be
No, you don't. It's
professional,
not
but
televised.
I can also beg for money. And,
Well, that's true.
And so
Well,
true.
you are good about that.
yeah, and so I just want you to throw that into the hopper.
This is
for
really
next
good
year.
food for thought. And the
Yes.
other thing we're looking at doing, and we're working on this, is changing the date, bringing it more into the end of February as opposed to March when everybody
March
is on spring
Madness.
break and March
Oh,
Madness and
yeah.
Back to
so
me.
many
back,
things.
Back to me for a
sorry,
second.
back
though.
to Ed. Sorry.
My thought is that Peter's good, but we're local. Like we don't live here, but we kind of live here, and we could work the crowd beforehand.
Well,
Like
you know everyone.
and okay, we're coming to you for some money tonight. Like Brad, what's Brad's last name?
Foreman.
Brad Foreman.
Brad and
Did-
Sandy Foreman.
That dude knows how to bid. I mean, I think you need to have a double VIP section where
I don't
you
know,
really.
Peter does a good job of running it up too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Peter did a good job.
did a great job of running
lifting
up the
his.
bids.
I don't think he bought anything though. I don't think. Oh, he's coming over now. He's got
Uh-oh,
some.
what's
angles.
happening?
By the way, everybody,
Oh no!
Just so-
no shoes.
just so everybody knows, I bitched and complained. That's not on, so you'll have to share with Karen. I bitched and complained about the watch that he had because it looked like it was like a super expensive watch, and he brought one
He's
for
got
me.
a bunch of different.
He brought one
ones.
for you at the
He's
event.
got a new one now.
And
it
then-
was
Oh, you
white the
changed it.
other
Oh,
night,
sure. You
now
gave
it's
me the
blue.
cheap one, and now you got the
No.
expensive one.
No, I gave you the small one because your wrists are small.
Oh,
That's right.
How dare you
so,
say
Ed,
that?
So here's the deal.
Well,
so,
wait a minute. Let me just
Yeah.
also get my point in or my jab in because you gave him the watch. I had to sit and watch those videos, and it was no easy trick
it's
to.
not easy.
Just
I
set it
not
just
easy.
got the time set, nothing else.
Not
The-
easy.
hey, you're sitting on it. I got nothing else set but the time, but at least we got the time set. It's got Bluetooth. I mean, I don't know that watch.
Do you know how to even use it now, Ed, or
No,
what?
He just can tell time.
I know
It
it
just
tells
looks cool
time.
on his wrist.
Time.
Again, it's a fashion piece. So
Oh.
what I've decided to do here, Ed, is because again,
Oh,
first I
boy.
want to thank Karen for what's an unbelievable event last Saturday night. It was, I mean, it was unbelievable. We had such a great time.
It
was
did take a
it's
village.
awesome. So we're looking forward to next year. And Ed, I think you might want to try
Test
to be
one.
MC. So I'm looking out for you. Okay. And I want to, I
No,
went,
yeah,
I was
wait.
shopping
Oh, boy.
yesterday. Okay. And I was putting a whole ensemble together. And I
Oh,
decided
boy.
Did you give
Buy
me a
you a
whole?
whole-
Is this
you
like
look-
a hand-me-down outfit that
No.
from the
No.
show last
No,
So
it's
you
weekend?
still
know-
got tags
So
on
you
it.
said you asked
Look
you
at that.
asked you posted a question about
Wow.
hypothetical.
And a pair of dudes.
Dude,
Pair of
he had-
dudes.
He had on the greatest shoes last
Yeah,
week, so I
look
got to
at
say.
Oh,
you.
those white shoes
So-
were not
Oh,
hey
yeah.
dudes. Those were
you were
amazing.
looking very slick,
Oh.
man. Oh, look at these.
Who has?
Wait,
My
what-
husband, Mark, had these on. Mark
And
had hey
somebody
dudes
else
on.
had
So
them on and
so
was
for
like,
MC, I'm getting you prepared.
Nice.
on how to,
Yes.
how to
Nice.
dress and how to
Dude,
sit up
Look
for
at
the
Karen,
that.
Karen, I'm going to tell you this: if you not hire us, but if you bring us on to be the host next year, total tux.
Total
tux
tux.
it
No,
out.
you gotta
Total
wear
tux
No,
it
you
out.
gotta wear a
This is the
suit.
beat.
No,
You said an
I-
upscale beach attire.
Oh.
yes,
So-
yes, yeah.
Well,
You're gonna be.
I'll do the
set.
outfit changes. I'll
No.
do the.
Oh, that's
You know
every
what?
time you
Right.
come on board.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time I come to stage,
And
you can do a
we'll
different
get
one.
you a suit jacket that goes with the gray,
Right
but
there.
has some really
Yeah.
nice.
No, I'll do
peachy
the
design.
beach.
How about parrots?
with me and Alyssa LeMay when we're on the red carpet doing the red
Whose
carpet?
foot
I'll wear
do you think
this.
this is gonna
Yeah,
fit?
what size is that?
8.
Okay,
Okay.
that's a girl's shoe.
If
He's-
it
He's
does,
a 12.
12 and a half,
Easy.
dude.
if it doesn't fit, just give them back. I'll bring. I'll
All right.
I'll
Well, I
return
can
'em.
I can
Well,
give them
we
back
can-
to you now.
We could do that. We could do
Yeah,
that. We
well,
could
that's
figure
right.
that
Yeah,
out.
we could do that. Thank
You're
you,
so
man.
I just
Wow.
thought of
You
you.
come
Ed,
with
I
gifts
figured-
all the
I figured
time.
I would, put. I'd actually have a an outfit for the watch.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
see. Yeah,
Oh,
the
you
watch
know-
is
There you
very
go.
cool, though. I do
The watch is
wear the
cool.
watch when I'm biking and all that.
It
so.
would be nice if you knew how to use it, though.
Is there,
Well,
like
it just
I go
all
like
it
that, I
tells the
look at
time,
it, Karen.
and
Is there
that's
more
it for
ways
him.
to
Oh,
do
there's
that?
lots of things
There's
it
lots
does.
of things you can do.
You
with
know,
it.
we have a friend in Gateway who Ed used to have to go to whenever we had an event to get dressed up for, because this guy, like you, very dapper, on trend, on point with his clothing, and so now you're like the new Nick. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna
he's still-
I'm gonna coach you.
Well, he didn't
Nick-
die. He's
Peter
still
didn't
alive,
know, but
by
he's
the way.
still
He's still
alive. We
alive.
just don't
He
see
cuts-
him as
He
much.
cuts my hair now. So
but you that's it.
who do we
You're-
need to lobby, by the way? I mean, who's on the? I mean, I know who the president of the board is, but I want to start throwing those lobbies.
All
in there.
right,
But if
stop
not,
being
we'll
so
still go. If
pathetic.
not, we'll still go. I just think it'll be.
Well, I think you have one of the main lobby
Right
people
here.
right
Thank
There
you,
you
Karen
go.
Woodson.
Right here.
Yeah,
So,
it's
Karen,
already on my list.
did we miss anything from that you wanted to? I know you want to thank your team.
I do want to thank my team. Oh my God. A year in the making, and people did such hard work. And the people I really want to thank too are all of our volunteers for the park and our members that came, and they all pitched in at the last minute. We had people there the day before helping set up and pulling weeds and doing all this thing just to get the whole grounds ready. It was amazing. We had fabulous sponsors. Beach Pottery for sure, the Islander, Cornerstone. Oh gosh, I don't want to forget anybody. Like I said, Christian and John Hennessy were some of the big ones.
I will say, and I'm blanking on Alana's husband's name, but he had a
Kurt.
super cool jacket on
Yeah,
too.
he did.
That was
Um,
super fancy.
There were a couple of guys there that had suits on that I was like,
Yep.
dude, I need that suit.
Yep.
Where'd you get it? I mean, you were dressed to the nines there with the shoes, and then you were gone. What happened? You have a date or something? You had to take your wife somewhere? Or you were
No,
How can I
unfortunately,
forget one of our
center
main
had to
ones,
leave.
Mango-ritas.
yes. That- and they were-
Mango-ritas, they were there,
were
and they were
there.
fantastic.
and that's the first time I've seen Jason without a hat on. I didn't
Yeah.
know he was bald like me, so that was very interesting to see.
And do
Yeah.
you know that man? I found this out that night.
Uh-oh.
He eats. I mean, he's like a bodybuilder, like
Right.
you are. A vegetable has never touched his lips.
Yeah, he's a little bit
Ever.
different. Yeah, when it comes to all that stuff.
I mean, never-
doesn't drink at all.
Doesn't drink at all.
He's in great shape, and he's like a freak of nature sometimes.
Yeah.
So, you did not really mention the food. I had 2 pieces of that filet. Was
Yeah.
it filet mignon? Is that how you say it?
Well,
Was that what it
didn't-
was?
I
No,
don't
it
even-
was
not.
braised short ribs.
Yeah.
I see.
Braised short
See?
ribs
It was
and
good. I
grouper.
just grabbed it off her plate. And,
Yeah.
It
So
was unbelievable. It was the food was just fantastic.
Yeah.
A grouper was
so that
super good.
was Black Salt Catering.
Yep.
And they have 2 restaurants over in Cape Coral. One is over at Cape Harbor. One is called Fathoms, and the other one is called Gathering. And you met the 2 chefs there, and it is fabulous. When we went for the tasting, normally you go for these tastings, you get like little bites of everything. They gave us the full course,
nice.
everything,
Yeah.
explained everything, how it was going to be presented. I mean, they were amazing. Great to work with.
So, Peter, let me ask you a quick question before we let you go or change things. We could do this forever, but
Right.
when you sit down at a table like that, which fork do you use for the salad?
I used the first one to your left.
I see. Of course. I told you he'd know that, dear. You
Just
said he
go-
wouldn't know that.
Would you just go
Jeez.
back and watch the movie Pretty
Pretty
Woman
Woman,
and get
yes.
educated?
Exactly.
Pretty Woman. Was there any nudity in Pretty Woman? Do you remember?
What's that?
Was there any nudity in
I
Pretty
don't.
Woman?
I think no. I don't think there was.
It was very tastefully
No?
done.
Yes.
I've
Very
never- I don't
tastefully
even know what
done.
they're talking
A
about.
lot of
Pretty Woman.
innuendos.
Yeah, it was
I
suggested.
do though.
Yes, a
That's
lot of
actually where I
suggestions.
figured it out.
Well, thank you guys,
Boys.
Karen. Anything else? And we don't want to miss
No,
anything.
I think it was
Oh,
fantastic, and
one
we're.
last question. You know, I have to.
Oh,
Is it
boy.
okay if I ask you?
Oh yeah, I knew
I
it
know.
was coming.
Is Karen Woodson going to run for town council?
And the answer is no, not this year.
Aw.
Not saying never, just not this year. I have so many commitments still hanging out there with boards that I'm on, and I'm not at the end of those yet, and
You can only
I
do
still
so
have a
much.
lot to learn.
Yeah, you can only
So-
do so much, and that is a full-time job right
Yes,
there.
it
Yeah.
is. And I'm loving being on the LPA. I just got on that as last fall and board cab. So there's just a lot of things happening in this town, and
You're very busy.
I just need to finish out those commitments first.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
we
you.
look forward to next year. And Peter, thanks for all the wardrobe and the
Wow.
watch and everything. And it's
I don't know. I
thank you
might
very
start
much.
getting jealous
Thank
here.
you.
What's going on? This bromance going on
stop.
here.
All right, dear. I think our final guests are. Why don't you let them know we're running late, and I'm going to take care of the first ad, and then we're going to Ellen Vaughn's coming on next, everybody. Right after I tell you about Beach Pottery. So, our friends at Beach Pottery were a big sponsor of the event at Lovers Key. And as you know, the cafe is open. They have pots and pots and more pots. And I think actually even, let me see if I pulled up some pictures because they have wall art now. Oh, I had some pictures and I thought I would loaded them up, but they have some really cool wall art that you should check out when you go down there. And they're located on San Carlos Boulevard, 17980 San Carlos Boulevard. And the phone number there is 437-4211. Say hi to Alana and Kurt and the full team down there. They have the full bar open there with espresso and cold drinks and warm drinks and pots. And they have art that they create out in the back with a chainsaw. It's not Alana with the chainsaw, but it's a professional. They cut things up and you take it home and you put it on your porch or you put it on your front yard or your backyard over an acre of property with 8,000 pots imported from Vietnam and Mexico. So check them out. Beach Pottery, 17980 San Carlos Boulevard. Ladies and gentlemen, I was thinking last night when I couldn't sleep, dear, if I wanted to create a list of the 10 favorite people, like if you ask people to create a list of their 10 favorite people on Fort Myers Beach, how many do you think would list Ellen Vaughn? Like 100%.
All of them.
100%.
Yes.
Ellen, how are you?
Class, dignified.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, you and talk about, we are really having the fancy dressed people on today because she is always to the, matched and coiffed and the whole nine.
Well, that's very kind of you.
And you were at
Well,
the
it's
event
very
last
true.
weekend, right? What did you think of it?
It was lovely. Just lovely. It was eye-poppingly beautiful.
Yes.
It was the attention to detail was just magnificent. My hat's off to that whole crew that pulled it off. It was lovely, lovely. Yep.
Now, Ellen, you are here for an event that's coming up that we want you to tell us all about.
So it's a good follow-on to follow Karen because I sent out an email blast after that and I said, okay, next up is the next event. And of course, I brought a visual aid.
Oh, nice.
So I brought the poster for Artful Intersection.
Artful Intersection.
So
yep.
Artful Intersection, and people say, what is Artful Intersection? Well, it was just sort of a brainstorm name that came to us a few years ago when we put on the very first auction fundraising event for the Friends of the Mound House. Well, we put it on for the Mound House, by the Friends of the Mound House.
Right.
And much like the situation at Lovers Key, where Lovers Key is a state park, the Mound House is owned by the town of Fort Myers Beach, and it is both a museum and a cultural center because it's an archaeological site. And the Friends was founded in 2005 to support the Mound House, because in 2005, the museum wasn't opened yet. It was more than a dream. It was an idea on the part of a lot of people that were very forward thinking, but there were a lot of steps that had to be taken. There was the archaeological work that had to go on the property, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So now it is a functioning museum and a functionally archaeological. Well, we don't participate in archaeology now. It's static. The work has been done. But when something like that is owned by a town, it is both a town property and it's a museum, and museums are usually not-for-profits, and that's a whole other world. So in the not-for-profit world, a museum relies on 1/4 to 1/3 of their operating funds from philanthropy. So the Friends,
Provide
our job
that.
now
Mhm.
is to raise funds for the Mound House. And the town supports the Mound House, but there are things that Allison Geeson, the director, would like to do that she can't afford to do just on the town budget.
And she's awesome.
She is awesome, and she has been the perfect person to open the museum.
Yeah.
She has both an archaeological and a museum background. So she had the mixed skill set that you need for a property like that.
Well, and I will say, I went there again last week. I took my mom and I went, and then I just signed up for a membership. So I'm a member, not you. I didn't sign you up because you're not that cultural.
I don't think I'm allowed at the Mound House until Roger
Well,
says I am.
It people, if you have not gone, it's a beautiful home. They've done amazing with the exhibits in there. You can sit out on the porch. There's the kayak launch, which I have used and have appreciated. We got to do the extra shell mound tour. That girl was phenomenal at explaining everything.
Yes.
And when you go down into the bottom to see where they excavated and the shell, and they explain the stratification of that, it is phenomenal. I mean, it's such a treat. It's such a unique thing to that area.
And it's unique to have, I mean, you well know, this is a 7-mile long island. It's not even a mile wide in most places.
Right.
And to have a historic site like that, an archaeological site, really in our back bay.
Right.
I mean, we are a very, very lucky town. And the fact that was saved by people that were just forward thinking.
Right.
And now we have it.
I mean, digging out the pool and boom, there you
Yeah.
go. Hold the horses right there. Yeah. It's an amazing story, and they tell it very well. And the exhibits are very easy to understand. And and the people there that are there, the docents, I guess you would refer to them as, but they answer any question and hang out with you. And
so we're a mixed bag because we have the docents. So that's us volunteers, and we get substantial training so that we do know to give the right answer. We're not making things up. But then the professional staff, that's the real depth of knowledge. So whenever you get stumped as a docent, you just got them and you have them on speed dial, and then you get the real answer because there's a lot there.
So Ellen, tell us what the event is about.
So this event is actually this is a reboot of an event that was scheduled for 2020. We were 2 weeks away from hosting the third Artful Intersection auction, strolling dinner and auction, when of course the wheels fell off the world with COVID. So we resurrected the event, and this year we're hosting it at the Mound House. A lot has changed in those 2 years. When the museum was shut down for a little while, Allison was able to get everything in place so that she can actually host events at the Mound House. So we will have a tent on the property. So in case there's inclement weather, which hopefully there isn't inclement weather in April, but one never knows.
True.
But it will be set up right next to the house, and the art that we will be auctioning will be on display in the house. And it will be, the format is we're going to have the strolling dinner of hearty hors d'oeuvres. And when I talk to somebody what's a hearty hors d'oeuvre? It's you don't sit down and have your dinner, you stand up and eat your dinner.
Right.
But Jordan Webster is the caterer, and he does a fabulous job. He catered the first 2 events that we had. And he has, in addition to hors d'oeuvres that will be passed, he has this incredible pizza oven that is an art piece of its own.
Wow.
It's made out of copper. I believe he had it made in Maine, and it sits on a trailer behind his vehicle. And it's this dome structure that he has to boot it up, like, I don't know, sometime in the morning in order to make these pizzas. So they will also be served.
Nice.
So we will make certain that people feel properly satisfied when they are asked to start bidding. And Rick Gallo, he is one of the auctioneers that is quite renowned in this area for his work with not-for-profits. He is our auctioneer.
Nice.
And we will have musical interlude provided by a duo, a husband and wife, who go by the name of Reckless Saints. And they were recommended to us by none other than our own Bill of Each. So they come with high recommendation.
And it's April 8th. It's this Friday, this coming Friday, right?
This coming Friday. And we have our tickets are still available.
Okay.
We are limited to a total of 200.
Okay.
That would be our dream if we were to get there. I think we're going to be more like in the low hundreds mark.
Okay.
That's still good.
But still, it's an absolute bargain price. And I brought you a sample of the tickets as another visual aid.
Okay.
Would it be okay for us to give away a pair of the tickets during the show today, or no?
I think we could manage that.
Okay, 1 pair of tickets we will give away. And your goal is to come up with a trivia question before you leave, Ellen.
Okay, trivia question about, All right, I will do that.
Well, you don't have. I don't mean right now. Like if you have, when our next guest is on, if you want to think, I don't want to put you on the spot.
Can I call an expert? Like I can call
Yes,
someone
you
from
can
the
call a
Mountain
friend.
House.
You can
And
call a
then-
friend.
Yep.
All
Yes,
right.
phone a friend. Yes,
Phone
no
a friend.
problem.
But don't make it too difficult.
Yeah.
No. We will not
Yeah.
make it too difficult.
Because then they'll Google it, and because my audience, they're cheaters. They're a bunch of
stop.
cheaters. They just go to Google all the time. So
So is this the
So
schedule of
This
events?
is the schedule. This
I
is the
see.
program.
Very nice.
And
Nice.
then in this catalog, which I
Is all the art.
that's
will
all
be
the art.
up.
And I happen to have 150 of these in my trunk. If
I
I
see.
care to have me leave some with you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that'd be great.
Yes.
After I finish with you, I'm going to be delivering them to the Mound House, and tickets are available for this event. Not only the paper tickets that I brought as samples, but you can buy your tickets on the Mound House website, and
Which
that's
is
moundhouse.org.
moundhouse.org. If you want to go to the event and support the Mound House, buy a. I must have missed it, but how much are the tickets?
The tickets are $75.
Okay, 75 for
Dollars,
one.
and this is for all those hearty hors d'oeuvres,
I see.
and it will be a hosted guest bar, hosted by my husband Pat and myself.
Very nice.
So I'm going to stop here at the bar and ask for the expert advice of how much. So we will be serving beer, wine, and mixed drinks,
Yeah.
and so I
Okay.
can get advice on how much to buy.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Well,
So, and I think one of the really interesting things we have that's unique is the Calusa Carvers is a group that comes to the Mound House once a month.
love them.
They formed in the 90s. You were aware of them.
Yes.
So they carve
was not.
things in the Calusa form.
Put your head back, dear. I
I'm
can't see
looking.
Ellen.
Sorry,
Can
sorry,
you
sorry,
read that
sorry.
later? We're doing a show right now.
I brought
Go
you
ahead.
the- I
She's
brought,
so distracted.
yeah.
Our dog's dying. She's so
Oh,
distracted.
Our dog is
Yeah.
not dying. Stop.
So those are the final pieces that the Calusa carvers carved from the piece of the strangler fig that was felled in Hurricane Irma.
Mm-hmm.
So these are never to be duplicated.
I see.
Right.
And there are some bowls, and one of the carvers recently did a Calusa mask. So
Yes, and
very special
Yeah.
things.
You'll learn all about those if you go to the Mound House too.
You absolutely will. And the other thing, Kim, when you talked about the Mound House, is we have new programs that are being developed all the time. And I think that might be the genesis of a trivia question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see.
All right, people. There's a little
We're
teaser
going to
on
give
that.
away a pair. That's $150 value, which is we never give away anything of a value of that much on this dinky little podcast show. So we thank you for the gift to give away. And even if you don't go, you're supporting the Mound House. So keep that in mind, folks. We want to support all the local organizations, not just the businesses, the local organizations like the Mound House, so that Allison has as much financial help as she needs to run the shop there and keep things flowing.
So and hopefully the lucky recipients of those 2 free tickets will come with the idea of bidding on some of the items
Yes.
available.
Right.
Yes.
Now, are there any Indians that still live in that area?
Well, actually, the descendants of the Calusa are the Seminoles.
Mhm.
Of course.
So the Seminole, the Calusa were basically all kinds of issues, war and disease, et cetera, et cetera. They were reduced to just a small number, but their descendants are part of the Calusa.
Right.
So in fact, we are going to be having some, I'm not sure what the right technical term would be, but there has been some degradation within the archaeological site.
Okay.
Shells falling off the wall. And so that work will be done this summer. And that is done in conjunction between archaeologists and members of the Seminole tribe that must be on site because it's a historic and sacred site.
I was
just
Isn't
gonna
it
say
crazy
sacred
to
site,
be able
yeah.
to have a site like that
on this island.
Yeah.
on this
It's
island?
remarkable.
Yeah.
Remarkable. We're so fortunate.
Well, Ellen, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you
and,
so much. I'm gonna keep this.
Ellen sent me a text saying, "Is it okay if I come on?" I was like, "You don't even need to ask. Anytime you want to come on for
Yeah.
any reason, even if you're just passing by in Times Square and you want to pop in, you're just one of
wanna
those
say
people
hello,
where like I
Show
said,
off your fashion.
yeah. The most, like I said, if you were to pick their favorite people on the island, the top 10 favorite people, who would you pick?
Oh my.
Seal Spuler.
Of course, Seal would be up there.
Yeah.
She was the one. The
No,
first.
wait, dear. That's
wait,
only one.
All right,
She's
but the
gotta
first
pick
time I
three.
went to the
Give her
Mound
to pick
House,
three.
she was there,
Of
and
course.
it was I got to spend so much time with her, and
Yeah.
it was delightful.
She is just a remarkable
Oh,
woman.
yes.
Betty Simpson's
Betty
in that
Simpson,
Yeah.
of course,
same category.
Yes. Yep.
And a recently deceased
Dan Hughes.
Dan
Hughes.
Yes. Yeah.
He
Big
was-
part of the Mound House.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes.
That trio was part of the team. In fact, the Friends of the Mound House, we're seriously working on trying to put together, this is no minor task, of who were the saviors of the Mound House.
Mhm.
Well, that would be
the founding
great.
group. And
Yeah,
so just trying, and we need to do it soon because the people that were part of that are leaving us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, get on
So
that,
stay
Ellen.
tuned
Come
for
on.
that.
Come on.
All right. Thank you
Thank you,
so
Ellen
much.
Vaughn,
Thank you for the
everybody.
opportunity.
She's awesome. We love Ellen Vaughn. And we're going to give away tickets. Ellen's going to come up with a question. Darren,
Okay.
go ahead and take care of that. I'll take care of this. And then you're going to take care of Tiki. And then we're going to get our final guests on from the mooring field because they've been very patient. We got very patient, and they've been waiting over there. So I'm going to tell you about Island Carts FMB because they've been sponsoring us now. They just re-upped for another 3 months. And what we want to tell you about, you don't need to be sitting in traffic with your car and burning fuel and wasting $4 or $5 on gas. What you want to do is you want to tool around on Fort Myers Beach in a island cart. They're brand new golf carts. They've got Wi-Fi. They've got batteries that last 100 years or maybe a little bit less than that, but a long time. And you get to tool around, and people look at you. They want to take pictures of you. They actually want to jump in your golf cart if it's a 6-seater. And it's nice to be able to people watch in the golf carts and to look around at the construction of the Margaritaville and to look around at the people that are in their bikinis. I didn't say that out loud, but you'd like to be in a golf cart when you tool around on the beach, right, guys? You want to be in a nice, clean golf cart. They spiff them up and they deliver them. That's what's cool. You call up and say, I want this golf cart. I want it delivered to my house. And there's Big Dan driving the golf cart to your house. He's dropping it off and you're ready to rock and roll. You roll out of bed all hungover from the night before, wherever you were, and you get in the golf cart, you're tooling around town. Most golf cart companies don't want to invest the money in the technology because it's expensive, but these guys have invested in these big batteries. They're not big, bulky batteries, but they're batteries that last a long time. And so you don't have to worry about getting halfway down the island and your battery shits out on you. So you got to call Sea-Tow or something to come and get you picked up and take you back home. So Island Carts FMB, we almost got everybody in the picture. You guys might need to move over a little bit. I'm sitting on your headphones there. Let me give out the number. It's 844. Oh, I like when you do that. 362-2278. That's 844-362-2278. Our guest now, we have 4 microphones. We are very professional here on this podcast, just so you guys know.
You are in.
You guys want to get nice and close to the microphones, and I'm going to
There you go.
I'm going to introduce
Hi, Mom.
our guest.
There you go.
Who's with it? Who's over there videotaping over there? Is that your wife?
That's my wife.
Nice. We have Stephen.
I'm Steven.
Stephen Latta and Bill Morton. I'm going to take the logo off of Bill's head there. And these guys live in the mooring field.
Yes.
You guys live on a boat.
We
Well,
do.
that's the
We
life.
each have our own boats. Yes.
You don't live in the same boat
No.
because that would be weird, kind of,
Well,
We're not all in the same boat.
right?
We've been best friends for a long time.
Nice. How long have you been best friends?
About a year.
1
No,
year?
Yeah.
Very nice.
5-6 years.
Nice.
Now, how long have you
Okay.
been in the mooring field? Like, how long have you been a resident, or is
I've
it
been
a come and go
I've
thing?
been a
or-
resident of Lee County for 35 years, and
Okay.
I've always and I've for 50 years I've had boats. But 10 years ago I sold my home in Cape Coral, and I've been living on the boat
Ever since?
ever since. Now
Whoa.
I traveled all over. I've been to Cuba, I've been to Central America, Mexico, up to the Chesapeake, upper end of the Bahamas. But I've been back here in the mooring field for the last 2 years.
Now,
wait.
can I just ask-
He said something in that last answer that I need to bring up. Now, I'm reading a book about the Bay of Pigs right now,
All right.
which has something to do with Cuba.
I
Derek,
know.
In case you didn't know. Now, when that happened, what were your thoughts? Like when the Bay of Pigs happened?
Well,
and
I was
the
a
whole-
really young kid when the
Yeah.
Bay of Pigs
Jeez,
happened.
you're
I was
so
in, you know, I was
old
in,
here.
and I was in what, second, third,
Yeah,
fourth
well, that's
grade.
an interesting question because my dad was in charge of the Cuba
Blockade.
blockade.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So do you
we were
think-
living in Bermuda, and we were
Oh
very
boy! Now
involved in that.
you remember you said
see.
your schedule was flexible. Now you're going to be here
Well,
forever.
the thing is, do you think
I
that
got to leave by tomorrow. So
do you think that the United States was just pushing a little too hard to try and assassinate
It
Castro?
was a stupid thing.
It was a stupid thing.
Well, you got to go back to
Politicians shouldn't plan this shit.
right.
Yeah.
Eisenhower in Nicaragua.
right.
That's
It was a
when-
cakewalk.
Yeah,
Cakewalk.
and so, hey, we did it once. Let's do it
Right,
again.
right.
And it wasn't again.
Yeah.
It was what was going on in Nicaragua wasn't what was going on in Cuba.
Right.
Castro.
Castro was considered a hero to his people for a while back in the day, and then the communists kind of got the better of him.
He was still pretty worshipped.
Yeah.
And even today, the population, they're so indoctrinated.
Yeah.
They, when we sail there, you have to be careful the gifts you give.
Yes.
Because if you give anything of value, they turn it into the communist store.
Oh, there's still a communist store.
Yeah, well, they have to, and then the store makes money off of it.
I see.
So when I sail there, I'd bake bread. That they didn't have to turn in.
Right.
Now, when I was there, I was there when it was still allowed. You could go there.
Right. When the mafia was in charge.
No. When Obama opened it up.
I see.
So I was there, and I had a driver. It's easy to live there. There's not a lot to buy, but whatever there's there is cheap.
Uh-huh.
And I asked my driver, and I said, what can I give you that's other than the money, the pesos? And he said toilet paper.
They don't have toilet paper.
I went in my boat and I get a 12-pack of toilet paper. The guy cried.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said I could sell this on the black market
Wow.
for more than I make in a month.
You see, I can understand why the government would go and confiscate the toilet paper, because there's nothing worse than not being able to wipe your ass.
That's
I mean,
true.
that really,
It really
I
is.
mean, if you're sitting on the bowl and you're thinking there's nothing around, I mean, what do you do?
But
What do you
we
do?
Americans,
I think-
if you think that they're unhappy, you'd be wrong.
Yeah.
Cubans are happy people.
Right.
They're pro Cuba. They're not the people you meet on the street are not political.
Right.
Their teeth are insanely great. Everybody's got great teeth there.
Why do you think that is?
Healthcare. They're healthcare.
Healthcare.
I
Yeah.
see.
They're
Universal health care.
Yes, for them.
Mhm.
I mean, but it's
Affordable.
whatever. Yeah.
Right.
And they just want to be friends with America. They
Right.
want the trade, but they're wonderful people.
Right. I don't know how you got us off
Yeah.
kilter here,
You
Stephen,
did.
but
Can I remember my
I
question
sailed to
originally?
Cuba. That's
so
Okay.
well, don't
All right,
tell me
so
what
that's-
happens at the end of the Bay of Pigs book, because
Okay.
I don't be
Can
a
I
spoiler
ask my
on
question
that.
now?
Yeah.
So, and you might have answered it. So you have a sailboat,
Yes,
and so you sail completely without a motor, or you have a motor backup?
I do. I do have a motor backup.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Do
But-
you
cheating.
have how many sails do you have? Do you have the big sail and the jib and
Yeah,
Hey,
a main
we're
sail,
on the air here. Can
main
you
sail-
stop with the bottles?
mainsail and a jib,
okay,
and I have a spinnaker.
okay,
I have a Beneteau 461. Actually, 461.
nice.
It's a 46 footer. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath sailboat with a big cabin.
Wow, 4-bedroom, 2-bath sailboat.
How fast can you get that going in a good wind?
11, 12 knots.
So here's a story about sailing. Okay.
Is it going to be
So
to Cuba or no?
No, nothing
I
about
see.
Cuba. So I sailed in Transpac from LA to Hawaii. And we're in a racing boat. And we had 8 people going, and it's a 14-day solid, never stop racing.
24-hour go,
And
go,
I'm
go.
sitting there navigating with the owner, who's the captain and steering, and we have 6 other crew members running around, and we were just careening. People was screaming, yelling, pulling lines.
Save the toilet
getting excited.
paper.
And the owner leaned over and says, "Bill, I've never seen 6 guys get so excited and move so fast to do 7 miles an hour."
Yes.
No, really. Did you have
That's
enough?
it.
Did you have enough toilet paper to last
we
that
had
long?
plenty of
I
toilet
see.
paper.
I see. Unless you get one guy that's, never mind.
Sailboats don't go fast.
How
No.
long did it take you? 14
Especially
days.
if there's
14
no
days.
wind, then they really don't go
They don't go
fast.
So what were we talking about? Oh yes, you guys live on a boat.
We were talking
Uh,
about
in the mooring field.
self-sufficiency.
yeah, no.
we've got,
So what made you decide that I'm going to sell my house and live on a boat? Like, how do you come to that conclusion?
I've always been there.
Well, look at the costs. I mean, I'm a commercial real estate broker by trade. Bill was a IT guy worked around the world, but we're paying rent on the mooring ball. We own the boat, but there's no real estate taxes. No insurance on the house, and who knows you're not subject to what the government does. I mean, we have a ruling committee here, but the city loves us. The
The ruling committee. What does
Well,
that
they've
mean?
got a mooring ball committee here in the city.
Yeah.
There's a special
Like an HOA.
Sort of.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they're appointed by the city council to manage the
The
field.
The Anchorage Advisory
Yeah,
Committee.
yeah.
And most
yeah,
of them
yeah.
are cruisers too.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
got
have
you.
one representative from the city council, and the rest have
Right.
boats out in the mooring field.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, this is somebody's wife, I'm guessing,
That's
right?
Yeah,
my
we
wife.
just talked about
if she
that.
wants the video, I can send it to her so she doesn't have to worry
You know,
about it. I got the
this
video.
is being videotaped.
We're on video, so she doesn't have to hold her arms up. I can.
She's Chinese. She wants
Yeah.
to videotape.
No, I'll send you. I'll send you the whole
Don't
thing.
take
Don't
the
worry about it.
videotape
Yeah,
from
just
a
enjoy the
Chinese.
show.
Rose,
Something to
good
eat.
guy.
Rose is a Chinese national.
Yeah,
Billy spent half the year on Bill's boat,
yeah.
and then the other half in their condo in
We
China.
live in a place I call Shangri-La.
You live
Yeah.
in China half the year?
Well, it's a place we call Shangri-La. It's a mountain village in northern China that is the happiest place in the world.
Are you a communist?
100%
Cuba?
sustainable
How
energy.
close
Cuba,
is
China?
that to
Korea.
No.
It's 100 kilometers from North Korea.
Wow. Okay.
It's way up north.
Wait, somebody said they lost the feed, but I don't think we
Uh-oh.
lost the feed. And we've got great Wi-Fi here. Do you have
So
Wi-Fi on your
the
boat?
morning,
Oh, yeah.
morning
Absolutely.
field.
How do you get Wi-Fi on the boat? Using your phone?
Well, I do it through
hotspot?
T-Mobile.
No kidding.
I pull 130 gigabytes a month and watch. I don't sleep at nights.
Really?
I sleep 4 hours a day.
Wow.
So I watch
How
old
old are
movies
you?
all night.
How old are you?
72.
And you don't sleep for 4 hours a night?
Haven't
Wow.
my whole life.
So when you were working IT, how much did you make a year?
You don't
Well,
have to answer that.
I really, the end of my career, last 10 or 15 years, I've traveled around the world saving stock exchanges.
Saving stuff. Oh, so
Yeah.
what is
So
so
they paid me a lot of
like what's your best year ever?
You don't have to answer that.
well, at the end, I was earning a little under 3,000 a day.
3,000 a day. Wait,
Yeah.
I
I
got to
wish you hadn't answered that.
So
But
that's
don't worry. At her anger, I gave it all away.
wait, 3,000 a day.
He
What
gave
is
it
that?
all away.
How many days of the year?
He
That's
gave it all
you
away.
gave it all away.
Well, sure. Well, I kept some,
Yeah.
but not a lot.
So, what was your best year like? You don't. I mean, this is what my audience wants to know. They really, if
This
they're
gets so old with you. This
Best-
gets
He's,
best-
he's
like,
a wealthy guy.
Best
so.
year I made $1 million in commissions in real estate.
1 year. Most selling where? What market?
I sell Walgreens, 7-Elevens
Oh,
around the country, but I also did sell the land in downtown Fort Myers that Oasis is on and a few other high rises.
dude, the 7-Eleven in Gateway is awful. Can you do something about that? I mean, they still got the plexiglass things, like the COVID still going around. It's just a
Nah.
nightmare. I mean,
Can't help you there.
Way off.
jeez.
But it
So are
tells
we-
you how much we like our lifestyle.
Yeah.
Both
Right.
of us have made a lot
Yeah.
of money in our life. We live on a boat and a cheap lifestyle.
Yep.
He looks at finances. I do it because you can take your house with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I think that he gets seasick at the
Oh,
drop
stop!
of a
Will you
hat.
stop
so
lying like that?
that would not
I mean,
work for him.
so you're out on the boat, and is the boat steady enough every night where you're
Oh,
you're
yeah.
able to?
Oh, God, yeah.
Because you got a giant boat. I mean, you got
Yeah,
like a
it's-
4-bedroom.
well,
it's
they're
weight.
not out in the middle of the ocean. They're
I know, but
back
sometimes
That's
they
how
are.
we are.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but when you're in the mooring field, it's calm waters.
But I
back
can,
there.
if you get
Okay.
seasick, I can cure that.
You can? How?
Oh, yeah. I ran a commercial fishing boat, a head boat, we call
So
it.
what did you do? You just
No, I had a friend that was an oncologist told me about this electric watch that will put a pulse into your wrist, and they gave it to chemotherapy patients. So I tested it on some of I don't know how we can say this, but we called our boat the upchuck boat because you go out in the ocean, it would just roll back and forth,
Right.
and 70 people would start throwing up.
so
We put the watches on these people, and
And
they
that
not
was
only
it.
didn't stop throwing up, they felt fine.
Yeah.
So I started buying them by the dozens, and it works. You can buy them at West Marine, $70, called a relief band, and your handle jerk a little bit because it really puts it, but
I
it
see.
stops.
Hey, listen, I've been struck by some serious voltage in the Tough
Yeah.
Mudder, the world's toughest mudder. Like that's
it
a
didn't
race.
stop you from throwing up, though.
So $3,000 a day for how many years? Like how many
for
straight?
a while actually.
Like lots of years making
Yeah.
3,000 a day.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna have to. It's gonna take me an hour to calculate that when I get
Well,
home.
can we
Like,
talk about the mooring
You know what you
field?
got to understand is people who are entrepreneurs like us, we make it, we lose it.
how
make
do you
it,
lose
we
it?
give
Like how do you lose
Oh,
it?
way.
Spend it.
No, you
yeah.
don't spend
Jesus
it. What do you
Christ.
spend
Yeah.
$3,000 a day on? You gamble? Are you guys
Oh.
gamblers?
well, no, I
No.
traveled around the world. I've been
Yeah.
around the
Yeah.
world 3 times, so I just would
Yeah,
spend it.
right.
I mean,
like
I'm
you get
gonna-
a new
I'll
phone
be-
every time the new
Plus,
iPhone
I
comes
have,
out.
I
You
have
get
a
one.
daughter and a son with an American Express card. So.
Is it a black? Is it a black?
Oh,
Mm.
I did, but not them.
You have a black? Like,
Not
what's the
now.
difference
I
between a black and a regular American
hottie
Express?
toddy snooty up
Okay.
in the air.
That's
Yeah.
it. You pay a lot more money for the black one than you do for
Is
the
it?
green
Is
one.
there a charge for the black
Oh,
one?
yeah,
And
fuck
the
yeah, it's
numbers
Did you
go.
say fuck yeah? I mean, did
Oh,
you
excuse
say?
me. Did
you
I say
can't
that?
Yeah, you can
You
say
did.
whatever you want.
Are they going to cut us off?
No,
Oh,
listen.
You going
This
to kick
is
me out?
so. Let's talk about the mooring field because
Oh, Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, I'm sorry for boring you, but you know
You're
the
not
guys like to
boring
talk
me,
about
but
guy
no,
stuff
no,
sometimes.
Talk
like
about the mooring field.
about money. Guys like to talk about money.
You like to talk about money because you don't have any.
When we have secret
so you live vicariously through the others.
I know. I mean, don't you just want to have a lot of money? People
Oh,
want to
boy.
have a lot
we
of
were
money.
close to the mooring field,
No.
and now we're back.
I think money's evil. That's why I give it away.
If you have a lot of money, does that give you the right to run up on stage and slap somebody? Probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, I guess that's.
I mean,
See,
I
there's the
think
problem with money.
if somebody is stupid enough to insult your wife,
Yeah.
right.
yeah,
Right.
I have a right to go up and slap somebody who had
Right.
did
There
it.
you go.
It
Yeah.
was vicious and it was mean.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
What?
I think it was.
The joke was, or
Well,
the
she was
slap
ill.
was?
It was a medical. Hey,
What?
you're a cripple, and I make a joke of you being.
I don't
Right.
think that's
She
the
lost
same
her
thing.
hair out of a medical condition.
I think
I heard a story. I was listening to some podcasts because that's what I do. I mean, I don't make $3,000 a day, so we don't have a TV. So I was listening to a podcast, and they said that alopecia is just a nice way to say you're going bald. Is that true?
Well, you go bald, whatever. But I
Yeah.
don't know.
But isn't
lose
that?
your hair.
there might be some medical conditions
I
that
see.
cause that condition.
I mean,
so
okay.
I just don't
He's-
think you should
Is
make
he,
fun
has
of
he always
people.
been insensitive?
I
Yes.
think
Is that
that.
a problem?
And Josie May, not enough. Thank you.
How dare you ask me that question?
So
That's
back to the mooring field.
Now
Some
you're
women want hair,
irritated.
and it's really
Well,
mentally taxing.
isn't that why they make wigs though? Or
I mean, the mooring field, there are rules.
He is
and,
such a
there are
insensitive
rules and
person.
regulations. The city does a great job.
I know they do.
They provide showers and
Right. Well, tell
laundry
people
facilities.
what the setup is now. Like, you guys, you pull your dinghies into over by Matanzas,
Right.
Yep.
and then you go to the harbor house and take a shower, right? Or
Well, no, they have dedicated showers for just the mooring field.
at Matanzas or the harbor house?
They're in
It's
Matanzas still.
Matanzas,
Do you have
but
to
it's a separate building.
Oh, still at Matanzas.
Yeah.
Oh, you see that
But
the
the
last
office is over.
right that the
The
last
office at Harbor
anchorage.
House.
Yeah.
And they're building their own office a little bit further south on the island, which will have all the facilities there.
Where's that?
Well, I
It's
believe that the plans are near where the new fire department is going to go in next to City Hall.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you
There's
guys
a
just
lot of
made news.
dispute.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's their plans.
Well, they've
I
got
don't-
funding for it. What they're trying to do now, there's some of the property owners don't want
right.
dinghies
Yeah.
going up and down the canal, so they're having a little bit of a.
It's
Pushback.
It's more than a little bit,
Pushback.
but let's. So you pull your dinghies into the Matanzas.
Yep.
Now, how's the relationship with the Matanzas people? Because
Great.
Oh, they love us.
oh yeah, and you've been doing that
Fabulous.
there
We,
forever.
we spend a lot of money there.
Yeah.
Like,
Our relationship with all the retailers here is just fabulous.
how is it? How cool is it though that you're able to? What is it called? Moor your boat, dock your boat. What was it called? Moor your boat on
Dock
a
your
ball,
ding.
mooring?
and then you dinghy into like it's so close, and then you're within walking distance
Of everything.
of
Yes.
everything where you are now. How isn't that the perfect setup though? Where you are now?
Fort Myers Beach is probably the perfect setup for cruisers because just the bus system.
I'm
you know,
sorry.
the-
Say that again so everybody can
Fort
hear.
Myers Beach is a perfect cruiser's haven
Yeah.
because not just everything's close, but it's not an expensive island. You know, you go to Sarasota and go down Main Street. It's beautiful. Go get a meal there.
Right.
And but the bus system, you can go up to Walmart on a bus for 35 cents. The tram you get on and off. So
Right.
they've just set it up really, really well here.
Can I just ask? So how long can you moor indefinitely?
No,
He can, I can't.
no, they're the full-time liveaboards have a 6-month period before you have to leave.
Okay.
Now, when they set up the mooring field years ago, 10 moorings were dedicated full-time liveaboards.
Okay.
I happen to have one of those.
Okay.
So when I leave, it'll be given up to somebody else and they'll
Okay.
get that. Yeah.
And so then you have to leave for how long? 6 months or
I don't think they have a rule.
Can
So
you
you
just
could
move down to the
leave-
next ball?
you
and
could
then come back.
and you could leave and come back as long as there you
This
was a
year, for the first
reservation.
time in the history of all moorings and all marinas in the state of Florida, there are monster waiting lists.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But why?
It's never
if,
happened
if
before.
they have you, a good paying customer, and you're there, why is? I mean, I'm just asking a dumb question because I don't know the answer. Why not like till further notice?
Well, because people that come here temporarily that don't live here spend more money.
Yes.
Their
Oh.
vacation.
Like
Oh,
hotels.
okay,
So
gotcha.
they want
It's a good thought. And 6 months is a good amount of time.
So
and
you
we can sail off, come back in a month. That's no big
and
deal.
Okay.
then how long can you stay?
6 months at a
Oh,
time.
so it's both of you are only
Yeah,
6 months.
yeah.
Okay.
And you
But
guys,
you can come and go as you please
Yes.
in that
Yeah,
6
absolutely.
months.
Absolutely.
And then your spot is your spot.
That's
well,
correct.
first come, first serve when you come back.
Well, no, if it's in the 6 months, it's
Yeah.
my spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
so do you guys ever get together with everybody in the mooring field?
yeah.
And so,
We're all friends. That's the nice thing about
Oh,
the
yeah.
cruising community.
yeah.
They're your family.
Where-
Literally, it's not just a word. They are your family.
For folks that don't know, they had a cruisers appreciation event last Friday.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Under the bridge
Right.
over by Matanzas,
Right.
in that area. And Steve was there, and he was talking to some of the folks, and they absolutely love the setup that the town has for you now. Like
Yes.
you pull the dinghies up right there. You walk to Matanzas, you get your stuff taken care of there, or you go to the harbor house. It's so close to everything.
Plus, you can go out to eat.
But my point is, don't you guys think that that's the perfect scenario, that you should just not worry about building a bigger building somewhere down? If you're down on the other end of the island, isn't that like out of the area you want to
Not
be?
really.
Okay, why?
It's not that far down. Number one, because we're out in the water, so driving this way or that way
Doesn't matter.
really make a difference.
But
And,
if you get
like
off
if I want to go to
down there-
Publix, you're closer to Publix.
Okay. I
see.
You know, so it's
So the property that they were talking about building a new building on, you would have to come through a canal,
Yeah, this is now.
through a
yeah.
backyard of a canal of a bunch of homeowners there. Do you think, knowing that you guys use the dinghies to get onto the land here to Matanzas, do you think it would become like a highway in their backyard, or no?
There's not that many.
No.
I mean,
How
it's
many is not many?
No.
What, there's 70, 80 moorings?
Yeah, but a lot
and maybe,
of them people.
and maybe a third of them are occupied some at the time.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just storage. And people come and go, and there's a public taxi. Well, not a public taxi.
Yeah,
private
there's a
taxi.
couple of taxis out there. You
Water
can call.
taxis.
Water
Water
taxi.
taxi,
Pick you up,
yeah.
take you to the
I
restaurants.
still never seen a water taxi. Where does the water taxi start from?
He just,
just
call
tools
him and
around.
He
Oh, I
cruises
see.
around.
So when
Captain
you guys,
Butch. That's an advertise for Captain Butch.
I'll have to call Captain Butch, because a lot of people have been mentioning the water taxi on our show here. So when you have to go potty, you obviously you go on the boat.
There's a holding tank on the boat.
Yeah.
And then the
And the,
pump
ci-
out
and the
boat
city comes out and pumps it out once a week.
What do you mean a holding tank? Like,
It's
So we call it a black water tank.
Black water tank.
It's like a septic tank that doesn't go anywhere.
but it doesn't smell?
No.
No.
Lord,
Okay.
no.
No, it's
And we're self-sustained. We all have solar. We have air conditioners.
No kidding.
We don't live
yeah.
badly.
No, not at all.
Right.
We have big TVs. We have everything you have at the house.
$3,000 a
Now
day.
you said
Man.
some of the boats
money.
out there are not. They're not occupied at this time.
They're just using them for storage.
Storage.
Just store the
People
boats. Okay.
park. The people are up north working. Their boats tied up there.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Should that be used for that?
That's a lot
They're
of
going to
people.
start limiting the number of storage boats because again, it
Yeah.
doesn't help the city.
It's not
Right.
spending.
Yeah.
That
Right,
boat's
right,
not
right.
spending
They
any
just make
money
their
here.
$300 a month,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Are there a lot of derelict boats in the waters around Fort Myers
No,
Beach?
they've done a very good job at one of the things they've done very good is gotten some gonads and gone after the derelicts.
Yeah.
And they take them away.
Now, one
and in
time,
the mooring field, there's only one boat left that it's not a derelict, but it looks kind of messy. All the other boats are really
Just-
nice boats.
Very nautical. Yes.
Yeah.
I had a cheap car, and it broke down on a highway somewhere, and I
This is
was
bad.
tired of it, so I just got out and I pushed it into the woods and left it there. It scraped off the VIN number and pulled off all my registration. You think that's what they did with those boats, the derelict boats?
No, I mean there was a boat that sank out in the anchorage.
Yeah.
And the guy had died.
Oh,
Not
he was on the
board.
boat?
No,
Holy
so
crap.
He was in the facility, and
What happened to him?
He just got sick. He got old, and he died. And so
Yeah.
the boat just sat there. Eventually filled.
No
with
one
water
knew,
sank,
and
yeah.
yeah.
And they're expanding the mooring field,
Yes.
taking up more and more of the anchorage.
Yeah, and they're going to. You said that. How many? I think they're adding how
19
many? 19 more
in
on
front
the other side
bridge.
of the. On,
In the
okay.
bridge.
Now, how much does it cost for rent?
Is it like
With tax, it's
300
about
something?
$330 a month.
So you
Yeah.
pay $330 a month. You got some cable. You got well,
No,
you
no
don't have
cable,
cable.
no.
How
No,
can you
they
have cable?
their
You got
own- they are
internet.
We have our own
completely-
internet.
Yeah.
So
You get the facilities, you get the bathrooms, you get a laundry, and you get a dinghy dock.
for wow, that's
And then
pretty good.
Do you pay for the pump out boat
Nope.
separately?
That's
no,
part
that's
of-
part
that's
of
part
it.
of it,
Okay.
Well,
Now, if you're on the anchorage and you're anchored out, you pay for it by trip.
Got it.
but the city gets federal funds for the pump out boats.
Yes.
All
Right.
cities
Yeah.
do in the
Yeah.
state of Florida.
Yeah,
So-
and Austin is his name. Austin is the
Amazing guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Harbor
since he's
master.
taken
Everybody
over,
praises
this
how great
place
he does.
has just screamed.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah,
guy
he's
before that.
amazing individual.
How long's he been here now? Do you know?
I've known him
About
for
2 years.
3 years.
Very
3
cool.
years, yeah.
But he just took it over, and he's getting rid of the derelict boats. He's really cleaning it up.
Well, being that it's so expensive to live everywhere, I mean, would you guys pay 500? I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
uh-oh,
Sarasota is 300, Miami's 300.
really?
You know,
But I think that's
So
going to
that's the
change
going rate?
Yeah.
because
that's the going rate.
Okay.
there are no mooring balls left in the state of Florida. So,
So the
it's-
price is going to
it's
go
gonna
up.
go up.
Right.
And
Eventually,
they,
yes.
to be honest, they should here because the mooring field does well. They
He's
don't
like,
make.
wait a minute. What?
They don't make. They're not in the black.
Right.
You know, they
right.
don't make enough, and they think they need to make a profit.
Yeah, see now when you go up, if you're here in the summertime, 4 or 5 months in summer, just like all the hotel rooms half are empty, the mooring field's half empty.
Right.
So they're not collecting rent.
Yeah.
You know,
You see, I think the storing your boat on a mooring field is BS. I mean, that needs to come to an end. You shouldn't be able to do that.
Well, even
because
storing
it's
it out of the
cheaper.
water in a yard is more expensive than
That's what
mooring
I'm
ball.
saying. Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
right.
you're
So
getting
people
away
do it a
with.
cheap way. It's a cheap way of storing
I
your
see.
boat.
Well, that should be it. Don't you think that should be a rule? Like you shouldn't. You
They
should have to
a very
live there.
limited number. you
Yeah.
know.
To me, too, something could happen when
Well-
it's on the water, too. And
Yeah.
then how you going to know who's checking on it?
But see,
Like,
they do pay the $300 a month during the summer when there's a lot of empty balls. So
Gotcha.
it's a
well,
compromise.
summer storage, I could see that.
Oh, I see.
If there's empty.
Well, they're not in it to make money though. The
Space.
town's not in it to make money.
Well,
so-
remember what it is, you know, for instance, last night, there's people always coming and going. Yesterday evening, 2 boats came in, a Westsail 42 and a Hunter 31.
Oh, the
Both
Hunter
couples-
40 what?
Both of
31.
them got
31.
off. Both couples got off board. They came in for dinner. Well, dinner, you know,
right.
anywhere here is going to be 75 to 100 bucks.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and so they got 2 extra meals, and they didn't deal with the city. Didn't deal with somebody trying to park somewhere.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right, right.
that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, so it enhances the community.
I think that the mooring field residents are misunderstood. I don't think the town might
I-
understand what kind of
with Austin
money.
cleaning it up, most of the people
No, I don't
out
mean
there
that.
have money.
No, I don't
Yeah.
mean that.
They're
I
not-
mean
they're
that
not
people.
poor. They
Yeah.
they come in here and they spend a lot. of
That's what I
money.
think. That's what I think
it's
they
not
need
like
to know.
you who'd be out there with a dinghy in the mooring field, living out of a dinghy. These are like
You live out of dinghy.
homes.
She doesn't.
That's what he would do. That's
She-
what he could get.
she
You're
had a stroke.
insensitive and you're cheap.
Yeah. She had a
Wow.
stroke. She doesn't know what she's talking about. No, what I'm saying is, I don't think people know
Am I
that
right?
that you're willing to pay
Well, I gotta
500.
be married to him, so
Austin, raise it to 500.
I think everybody should pay 500. And I think that you guys
You don't- you
contribute.
don't-
wait till you go
Yeah.
back to your boat. There's gonna be
You don't know that. You
Oh,
don't know
my
that the
boat's
market.
they're drilling holes in the bottom
Yeah.
of my boat right now.
your
They're all
yacht.
out there
that's
planting bombs. They're
And
You know,
you-
but everybody out there can afford that.
we understand the amenities of the other places and where we can go. We just, if you're going to move because of price and all the other amenities are the same price, you just don't move in January. You move in April or March.
yeah, but you're
Right.
here because you love Fort Myers Beach, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they think it's the 500 a month. I may love it a little less.
You'll still love it though, right?
I will love
Yeah.
it from afar.
So Steve,
He's not moving.
yeah, yeah. So
he'll spot you the other.
the boat life is. What's the difference between the boat life and living on land
Well,
life?
I
I mean,
think
what do you
they've-
get out of it?
Elucidate.
Well, let me tell you, I was up in Sarasota last year, and I'm at ball number 65, which is as far away from everything in front of Selby Gardens. And I get up on Christmas Day because she's in China. I'm feeling sorry for myself. So Christmas Eve, I fix myself a glass of wine. I'm sitting there watching a sunset, and an orchestra in Selby Gardens starts playing Christmas carols. And I
Hmm.
tell people that's cruising.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Now,
I mean, you just feel so amazing.
China's still a communist country, right? I mean, how do they treat
Most
you?
days.
How do they treat you when you're
No,
there?
they really aren't. There is no communism
Oh,
or
stop.
socialism in China.
Come
It's
on.
all capitalism. It's an autocratic
I see.
capitalistic government. They just didn't change the name. There is no. They think we're crazy.
Why?
Well, they're against socialism. It almost bankrupt the country, and they go, "Are you guys whacked?"
Do they
Yeah.
think we're socialists? Is that what
Well,
you're
they
saying?
see where we're going, and they look at it and they go, "Didn't you learn anything from us?"
Hmm.
Now it's an autocratic government, so you have to be careful.
Mhm.
You know, you have to be
Or you'll be killed by the government.
or go to re-education.
I
They
see.
call it
Oh.
jail. It's bad,
I
but everybody
Does
walks.
not sound good.
But everybody walks around happy, free.
Yeah.
there's 380 million very wealthy middle class there, bigger than the U.S.
Are they all wearing masks?
Oh, all Asians always wear masks,
Yeah.
so that's nothing new for them. They all drive BMWs, live in $1 million apartments.
Wow.
And they can travel where they want. They can leave. They can come back. You just can't call Xi Jinping dirty names.
I see. And this ad was sponsored by the Communist China government.
Yeah. Well, I have to go back there. Okay. Did you hear that, Mr. C?
So
the welcome mat may not be out for you either there.
Yeah, I have to be
You're
careful.
burning some bridges here and there. You're going to be on your boat somewhere in the middle.
I love Xi Jinping. Okay.
I
So
was
now
thinking-
I can go back.
I was thinking of buying a skiff. What do you guys think about that?
Why? What do you
Why?
want to use it for?
Fishing?
Oh,
He
yeah.
doesn't know how
You
to
gonna fish
fish.
in the back bays or you fish on the golf?
Yeah.
No.
No.
It
One
was
or
a
the
question.
other.
It was a
You're out
question.
in the golf. You're not going out there.
No.
on a skip.
I see.
No.
So that's a
Bays,
back bay
yeah,
kind of
back
thing.
bays
Yeah.
and rivers, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of no-see-ums on the back bay. I'm still itching from.
Near the,
Oh,
near
sure.
in the
Wow.
mangroves. When you get near the mangroves.
Just don't
yeah.
fish near the mangroves.
Wow. I mean, what do you guys do about the bugs?
We're in salt water.
Listerine original is you put it on your skin and they won't bite you.
Listerine.
The brown
The
Listerine.
brown
The
Listerine.
original Listerine.
Isn't that a breath
Now
kind of
that's a
thing?
good. That's
Yeah,
a
but
good
you
tip.
put it on your skin. The no-see-ums don't
Wow.
like it.
You guys should do a
the
podcast from your
alcohol
boat.
will
Do you know how
ooze
much
into your
interest
skin.
that would be? Like people love boating. People love that.
Sounds
being
like
out there.
work.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not going to pay you $3,000 a day. I can guarantee
Well, it sounds
that.
like
We
work.
don't work anymore though.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you guys are awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
we
thank you
hope you
so
can come
much.
back and we appreciate you kind of filling in the blanks on what goes on with the. I can tell you don't really follow the politics because you probably don't need to. You go where they say you're going, and
That's it.
you're happy
and you're
doing
happy
it.
about that. So
We don't want to make their life more difficult.
right.
We want to make Austin's job easier.
You don't want to make waves, right?
Yeah.
But
You don't want to make.
Well, we would love for you to invite us out on your boat sometime
Well,
to
You
use the
say that all the
restroom.
But
You
you get
say that all
seasick.
the
Can you make
time.
it out
She's
there?
a liar. She had a stroke yesterday or
No.
something. I mean,
You
she's
did?
just
You
a,
look good.
I did not.
look good
Thank
for a
you so
stroke.
much.
how's her hair look, by the way?
Well,
She's
today it's rough because of this humidity.
she pays big bucks for that hair.
No,
You
Where
do?
do you guys get your hair cut?
Wherever the cheapest place to
Yeah,
get it.
I see.
There you go.
Chop it off. We live in the wind.
Well, next time we're gonna have to have your wife on so she can tell us more about China and how much
Oh, yeah.
how much
We
you
should.
love it
Very
there. Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I mean, it is interesting to me. So
Well, I sent you a picture of my boat.
yes, and your
Yeah.
wife.
My wife was up there 60
Yeah.
feet up in the air on the mast.
I don't know
Oh
if I
my
saved
goodness.
that.
75 years old. She's up there working on the
Oh, I
mast.
got to show people that on. I'll show people that on our Facebook page when
He's
we.
afraid of heights too, so that
I am.
won't work. No,
I
he
am.
is too.
I am. That's why
Oh.
she
Yeah.
goes up.
I
There you go.
see.
That's what would be me. That's I'd be on the roof.
Why
on the
does it
mast.
cost so much to add balls to the mooring field? Somebody wants to know. I don't think these
I don't
guys
know.
know that.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
not
no,
their.
They are
Permitting and environmental studies is a big cost.
huge, and the technology behind them is quite expensive. They're actually helical screws into the ground,
Yeah.
and
Right, well-
they can handle
That sounds like
Category 4
hell of a-
hurricanes. So they're
Don't take this personally the wrong way or anything. But how deep do your balls go?
I like 15, 20 feet screwed into the earth, so they're
So-
not coming out.
I see. Like they must have to screw your balls down deep
I try
to
to keep
get
a
it to-
straight face, but I just can't.
to keep it in the ground. I
Yeah.
mean, it sounds like it's got to go.
You know, it's so cheap. It's so
There's
cheap.
nothing better than that. Or well,
No,
fart jokes
oh,
are better.
Yes. Because you
I
have
just
no
don't like when he starts
imagination.
talking about balls. He was winking at me, so
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about.
That's a lie.
It
Did
was-
not.
Oh, that
That's
hurt him
good.
good.
That
That
hurt
hurt him
him
good.
Oh crap!
Well, gentlemen,
Thank you so
Look at
much.
he's speechless.
he's
my
he's
God.
I
blushing.
don't know.
He's blushing and he's speechless.
It's our audience. They want to know how much people make, and they want some kind of ball joke before the show is over. But
Now, when will
Yes,
this? When
low-hanging
will you have
fruit.
this up?
this is live right
This
now.
is
by the
live.
way.
Okay, so
yeah.
is there-
Now step
Yeah,
up.
but
Now
you
step
can
up
go
your game.
back and
Yeah.
watch
We'll post
it.
We'll post
I
it.
gotta get back
I'll
to the
send it
boat
all.
because they're
Yeah.
sinking my boat right
I'll
now.
Yes,
send
they
it all
are.
to
They
you.
are really. There's a riot out there.
Stephen Lotta and Bill Morton, thank you so
Thank
much for
you
coming
so
on,
much.
you guys. Enjoy the beaches and the waters off Fort Myers Beach or the what is that out in the Gulf or the Bay? I'm not even sure where it is. It's out there though. All right, folks, those guys were awesome, and the wife is going to go over with the wireless and tell you about the Fort Myers Tiki tours, and you know where I'm going because I need to take a quick break.
And we have to do the question.
Did you get the
And
question?
there was something I wanted to
All right.
say.
Well,
to the
take your
gentleman.
time when you read the ad. I'm
All
going
right.
to turn the camera around on you. Don't go anywhere, folks. The show is not over. Stand by for more fun and excitement. Right now, go.
All right, and you know what I'm here for. Fort Myers Tiki Tours. Fort Myers Tiki Tours at 239-887-0042. Go out and take a relaxing 90-minute tour around the Fort Myers Beach Intercoastal on a Hawaiian-style tiki hut. You and 5 of your guests, which could be friends, could be family, probably won't be strangers, could be Ed and I. We'll go with you. And relax while your captain drives you around. They provide the captain. There's a cooler on the boat with ice and Bluetooth. You can hook in your music. You can sit back, relax, enjoy yourself out there. Bring whatever food and drink that you would like. The captains are all entertaining. They're very safe. It goes at a slow pace so people can take your picture. You look like a movie star out on that tiki boat. We have gone out at least once, and we're hoping to get those guys on the show soon. They'll be back in town, and we want to go out again. But give them a call at 239-887-0042. This is a great time of year to go out and enjoy the weather, take a break, have a good time. They leave out of Salty Sam's, go up and down on the Intercoastal. You will see through the bay. Everybody calls it something different. When we went, we didn't see a lot of wildlife, but I have been out there when the tiki boats have been out there on my kayak and seen dolphin, a sea turtle, the beautiful and gentle manatees, and we all need to be really careful. This is getting to be the time of year. Please obey those manatee speed zones. Please look out for them. Wear your polarized glasses. They can't move. They're really big, so give them a break. That was my manatee announcement. And let me go get the...
All righty. Hey, you sold something. Thank you very much. All right, folks, before we wrap things up here, we did want to remind everybody about the show, the special show that we're having this coming Friday. Here's the deal on this coming Friday. It's going to be with Tom Torgerson and John Dammerman and the team from TPI. You're going to get a complete project update. There had been a lot of questions about the parking, so they're going to talk to us about the parking and what's going on with the parking. It's going to be at the Whale, which is going to be, we're going to have cameras that are overlooking the project. So we hope that you can come out for that and support the folks at the Whale, Marty and his team at the Whale. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you reserve a seat. So what you need to do is you need to text me your name so that I can put you on the list. It's at 4:00, from 4:00 to 5:00. We're gonna have the show upstairs at the Whale. So the phone number to text is 239-247-3833, and I'll save you a seat. It's 239-247-3833, and that is going to be from 4:00 until 5:00 at the Whale on this Friday night. Before we get to the question, I wanted to say congratulations to Chelsea, the Public Works Director here on Fort Myers Beach, who has taken a new job as a district manager for Gateway. And it just happens to be a coincidence that we live in Gateway. So she will be out where we are.
That was quite a coincidence.
Yeah. And district, we live in like a community development district. So it's not quite a town, but it's kind of sort of like a town. We have to take care of all the landscaping, and we have soccer fields, and we have a flag football league that we started. We have a dog park that we started. We have a Christmas tree celebrated that we started. But we don't do that stuff anymore because we're so engrossed in this empire that we're building here in the timeout area.
Yeah.
And so congratulations to her. She starts on May 4th. And so she will be moving on to another position. So what do you got?
So
here we go.
Talked
Trivia
about
question.
The tickets for the Mound House event this Friday at 7 p.m. goes till 10 at the Mound House on Connecticut, the end of Connecticut Street, for Artful Intersections. All right. So the question is, this one is an easy one, guys. You should know it right off the bat. Maybe you might have to look it up. What year was the house restored? So what year?
The Mound House.
Yeah.
What year was the Mound House restored? The first person to text the answer
Wait a minute.
on the Facebook page there. What do you need?
Was restored
What?
to.
Steve is selling
So
merch.
What year was the
Thank
house
you.
restored
Thank you.
to? So that they restored
confusing me now.
No. They restored the house to what year to represent what year? It wasn't, it was a while ago.
How many days?
Way earlier, John.
All right.
Way earlier. No. Not what year was it? What year was it restored to?
They're totally confusing. I don't know. I gave you and Ellen all that extra
No.
time.
The house.
Why do you have
Listen.
to wear your glasses on the edge of your
So
nose?
that I can see over the
Listen.
top of them.
1870 is our next
Nope.
answer from Keith.
It's in the 1900s.
All right. They're going to Google it now. I don't even know if you can find the answer if you Googled it.
Yes.
So a couple of things that we want to chat about, dear, before we say goodbye is what? Oh, Monday's meeting is going to be interesting because on the agenda, the town council meeting meets Monday, and on the agenda will be an ordinance that changes the rules.
Louise.
That changes the rules for the jet ski and the parasail licenses, which has been something some folks have been following along. So that's going to be interesting to watch on Monday to see if the council sticks together on that, because there's a group of people that are opposed to that. So you'll want to watch that or attend that meeting on Monday at 9:00. We'll be carrying the meeting live at 9:00 on Monday.
I'm watching.
And she's watching.
I'm telling Louise guessed. Oh, you guys are so close. 1923 and 1927. You're
was the
so
question
close.
again?
It's early, just a scooch bit earlier than your guesses.
What was the question again?
What year was the house restored to?
Now,
So
I see what you're saying. I get it.
Yes.
Now, if you had the option to live in a house or a boat, what would you pick?
now at this time of my life, I would try a boat.
With 3 dogs.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You see, the thing now is
Close,
you need to be prepared that we might lose a dog today. Just so you know.
Stop it.
We have dog issues with our Maltese that I'm going to tell you that this Maltese is having the same kind of issues that the last Maltese did when that one keeled over and
No,
bit
the
the farm.
last one had congestive heart failure, and we managed it with medications as long as we could.
When you go to the vet today, we have to establish a financial limit on what we'll spend to save the dog. What's the dollar amount that you want to put on that?
Well, I don't know if you can put a dollar amount
I
on
think
it, but
you
you
can.
can't get ridiculous.
Like, what would you spend on a Maltese that you don't know how old the dog is, and it might die, or you have to
I'm
pay?
not having this conversation.
Like, would it be
with you.
1,000? Would it be 2,000? What's the dollar amount that you're?
What's your dollar amount?
I would say you could probably go to 750. Anything
Okay.
higher than 750, pull the plug.
Oh my God!
I mean, we're all gonna die sooner or later, right?
You
If
you might be sooner rather than later.
If the doctor said to me, if the doctor said to you, it's going to cost $750 or I need to pull his plug, what would you say?
For
You'd say
you?
pull the plug.
No, I would not.
You
say pull the
lying
plug.
sack of potatoes.
They
you'd
don't
say
do
pull the
that
plug.
either.
They don't tell
do
you
They
that?
don't say that.
They should say that. They should be black and white on things like that. All right, are we done? Do we have a winner?
I'm gonna go with Louise was the closest.
All right.
With 1920, it was 1921.
Thank you so much.
Louise, London.
All right, Louise.
Louise, please give Ed a call.
No, don't give me a call. I'll give you a call. You're in charge of the Mound House.
239-247-3833.
That's my number. All right,
Send him
Louise.
a text and we will figure out how to get you these tickets.
247-3833. Thanks to Karen Woodson. Thanks to Christy Hennessy and John for inviting us to the Lovers Key event. I was going to say
gala.
Key West. The Lovers Key Gala last weekend. We had a spectacular time, and it was a fabulous event, and we hope you all go
It
next
was
year, because it's really
great.
worth it to be around those people and to support Lovers Key. And so thank you to Karen for coming on, and to Ellen Vaughn, one of my favorite people of all time in the entire world, for coming on. She's always happy.
And she's got great handwriting. I just couldn't read
And
it
she's
well.
just a nice person.
She's an extremely nice person.
And thank you to our friends
you,
from the
John.
mooring field for coming on and explaining to us how cool it is to live on a boat, and how much they love Austin and how much they love all the services that town provides.
And how much they love the town.
and how much they love the town.
Yeah.
Friday night, 4:00 at the Whale
Bye, Dad.
will be our Margaritaville show. A complete update on the project, a complete update on the parking, on everything that you need to know. We'll take questions from the audience if you're there. And the only way you can be there is if you text me, save me a seat, 239-247-3833. We don't need to chat or talk or anything. We don't need to get personal or have a conversation. Just text me your name, say save me a seat. We'll see you there at 4:00. Don't get stuck in traffic, because if you're not there by 3:30, we're giving your seat away. How's she doing? The dog doing all right? Oh my God, my sister just wrote a book.
That's not.
What is that about? What?
You must have pressed the button to record, and
Oh,
it
I see.
recorded
The
half
entire
of the
show.
show
Nice.
on my phone in a
Nice.
text message.
Is the dog still alive?
The dog is doing well.
We're on the dog watch, everybody, to
Dog
see
is
if the
doing
dog
well.
lives
She's
until the
gonna
next
be
show.
fine. You're so dramatic.
She
All
right?
right,
We might have
goodbye.
to pull the plug. Bye-bye.
Pull your plug.